They bothered me at Woodstock. They sprayed tear gas on us in the People's Park in Berkeley. I made them go. He wanted to go to Mexico. He wanted to run away. But when we started getting the vibes about Woodstock, I made him go. 500,000 people gathered together to defy what was going down. Robbie just looked at it all and said, kids standing out in the open, they don't know what's happening. They're going to draw them in time of bonfires. But they didn't. Sure, the press and the media ripped it off, but that's how you work within the system. You make them see what you are. He'd just say, let them fight for it now. I've had enough. He's into heroin then. We hear great stories about wonderful things like the strikes at Harvard and Berkeley and the priests burning the draft records and the GIs resisting the war and the march on Washington in November. And he'd just say, look at the streets. That was true. The streets between here and the house turned into the same thing as Berkeley. Just kids. Streaming, hungry, drug, disease, hustling, stealing, crazy, marks chalked all over their faces, winking and twitching and muttering psychedelic pseudo-religious shit, or black beggars, snarling and shivering. People would come from other countries and say, we want to be American. You're where it's at. How could you tell them we were licked? We were through. We weren't. We aren't. We gave up our music because we thought it was an ego trip. Robbie was into something new every day. Hare Krishna, Catholic monasteries, or the conspiracy trials in Chicago. He was going to be a movie maker or weave beads. And then, for some reason, he decided that Vanessa Redgrave lived next to us, disguised as a Puerto Rican, taking tapes of our conversation. And that John Lennon was God, Mick Jagger was the devil, and Donovan was Christ. Christ. That was the winter of 68, 69. That was the winter that produced Let It Be and Bridge Over Troubled Water. That was how the 60s ended.
Yes, James Bond really didn't care because right about that time, all the men I knew turned gay, or were revealed to be gay all along, or maybe they just came out. It was certainly better than sleeping with Raquel Welch and cutting yourself on her. I didn't think down. She did a terribly difficult thing at a time when I just didn't. Apparently, I mean, nobody is that beautiful. To be that beautiful takes all one's time. There's no time to be beautiful inside, to be human, to be warm or fulfilling. Besides, all the reviewers prefer the drag queens. It's amazing. Esquire last month, this young boy who writes for them, he just flipped. He freaked over these 3 famous drag queens who were the guys I used to room with in 1961. It's so funny. He told me at the start of the 60s that the competition would be drag queens. Wasn't there supposed to have been a sexual revolution in there somewhere? Weren't all these masks and disguises supposed to have been dropped? I mean, when Raquel Welch and a bunch of drag queens are the current sex symbols, isn't something wrong? What made them hate women? And men. What made them hate men? Is it just that there are so many people in the media and all have made them all so much alike? Is that why everything keeps harking back to another era? Any other era? Any freak? Any monster? Anything different? Why don't we want anything beautiful? Why don't we want anything beautiful to be, to exist, to live? Is it just overstimulation or what? Are we just instinctually avoiding reproduction? Stimulation, involvement, reproduction? Everybody's drunk. Everybody's drugged. Everybody's making TV commercials. There are no stars. What is wrong with them? What is wrong with me?
Chick is not in league with anyone. That is insane of me to think so. I have been innocently falling prey to the over-rationalistic Western tendency to try to connect everything in one great pattern, which is wrong because that is what makes men totalitarian. I have also been mistaking my own feelings and fantasies for actual facts, plus my own natural aggressive tendencies, which I cannot help, have misled me into projecting these territorial power fantasies onto other people. People are really good. They do the evil things they do for the same reasons that I have had these delusions. Because I am evil, but then so are they. But they are not, and I am not either, but someone